Buenos días a todos. Hoy es lunes 16 de junio. Today is Monday, June 16th, and we are officially starting our time in A Coruña. We have school this morning, and we got ready. So, yeah, we're getting ready for school, and we don't know what our schedule is, so it's all TBD, but that's okay. We do have an activity later today, though, so looking forward to that. But come along with me for the day. We're here. It's been a day. We're back again. Class went well. It was more of a placement exam, but now we're en route. We had lunch. It was really good. It was like, to me, it reminded me of chicken adobo, which it was like chicken, white rice, and potatoes. Literally reminded me of home, not gonna lie. And now we're going to our activity. So we're walking.
Yes, and we unpacked.
We unpacked. Yes.
And now we're
feeling a lot better now. Starting
your finger.
We are starting our tour of the old ancient city in A Coruña. So that's what we're doing for the summer.
With air.
Today.
You have to fidget with it.
Oh, paloma.
Sí. Son similares.
Just finished our walking tour. It was a little exhausting, but we got to take a view of the city. Also got some souvenirs. The wrong direction. I got some magnets for my mom and and then I got a t-shirt for me and my friend. And we got some ice cream, because that was a must, because it's a little warm today. Yeah. It hit spot. Yes, it did. Oh yeah, story time about that later. That might be a separate video. It's been a day. Expect a story time later. For now, we're going to bed. Thank God. It's been a long day. Buenas noches. Adios. Hasta mañana. Hi everyone, I'm currently sitting here editing some of the Spain vlogs, and in one in particular, I'm editing the one from our first Monday in A Coruña. And at the end of the vlog, I said that I would give a story time and never circled back to it, so I'm going to try and keep this short and try to include it in the initial video. So basically, the story time, I'm just going to focus on that Monday, because I think I hinted in the vlog I did for the day before Sunday when we arrived in A Coruña. I had mentioned that our host family was a little late to pick both Catherine and I up from the train station, and that was pretty much it. So I'm going to focus on what happened on Monday and just kind of not the chaos, but like the quick turnaround that Catherine and I experienced. So obviously on Sunday we went home. We came from Madrid to A Coruña, then we went home, and then we had class the next morning on Monday. So we hit the ground running day one. So we go through the morning and the afternoon perfectly fine with our host family, and it was a mom and her daughter. And it wasn't until we go to school that morning when our professor from our college in the States asked both Catherine and I, oh, how's your host family? And we just said lightheartedly, oh, it's fine, but we're sharing the daughter's room and we're sharing this like queen bed. And our professor was like, oh, that's not good. So she's kind of freaking out, and it quickly escalated into like another situation, I'll say, because our professor was speaking with the program in A Coruña, and then she was also speaking when the time difference kind of caught up and it was appropriate to message our school in the States because of the 9-hour time difference. It was kind of stressful, but our professor was talking with the program in A Coruña and our school in the States, and they're like, yeah, these girls cannot be with this host family just due to the policy because students can't share beds, which I understand that. I think at the time, Catherine and I were like, oh, it's okay, but like, I understand why now after they explained it to us. But so basically, we go about the day, we go about school and our afternoon activity. And during our afternoon activity, when we're touring the old city, our professor comes up to us and is like, hey, you guys, it looks like you guys might need to move out. And, or like discuss it over, talking about like, if Catherine and I wanted to like split up and one of us go with one host family, one of us go with another host family, just all these options that we were given. So Catherine and I discussed it over, and ultimately we decided that we'd rather just be together, just because like we had originally agreed to that anyways. So we tell our professor that, and then she's doing more communication with the program at A Coruña, and ultimately it came down to our professor just saying, okay, the girls are going to move out. So we finish our activity, we have a little bit of free time, so Catherine and I go get some ice cream, and then we make our way to our professor's apartment, because then the three of us would walk over to the host family's apartment that we were staying at, because Catherine and I had to pack our stuff up, and then we trusted our professor to relay the message, because with Spanish and just a potential like language barrier, we just trusted our professor to deliver the message, because Catherine and I found it would have been too difficult, or we just didn't know how to address it. So basically we end up moving out, and we then end up going to our professor's apartment for the night, because she's like, oh, I have some space, like let's have you guys stay here until we get it all sorted out. Fast forward throughout the rest of the trip, Catherine and I ended up just staying with our professor, because we all found that it was the most like beneficial and just the most like secure option, just because there were other options that came back, but it just wasn't up to any of our standards, especially our professor's standard, because after Catherine and I had issues, another student also had issues with their host family, so it's like, if it wasn't up to her standard, it was a no-go. So ultimately, Catherine and I ended up just spending the rest of the trip with our professor and her two daughters, and it was such a blessing. It was so much fun. No complaints, honestly. Yes, it wasn't the host family experience that like we were told, but it was still a fun experience, and it was still like a family experience no matter what. So I'm grateful for it, and I have no complaints. And honestly, Catherine and I handled the situation so well. We were so flexible with everything that was going on. But yeah, that's a story time in a nutshell. And yeah, I hope to see you soon for another video. Bye.